Okay, we got Zested playing Mercia in the black up against Martin, aka Spacefront, playing Ryota in the gold. And I'm very curious to see how this is going to play out. Floran Farlands, you know, we've seen a lot of games on this map. People very much have scienced out the opening, so I doubt either of these players is going to spend a particularly large amount of time taking their turns right now. Yeah, we see Martin playing really quick, and that is not something you would normally hear me say, is that yeah, Spacefront's playing this quick, and yeah, they're doing all their turns correctly, and the first 5 turns of this map should not take you longer than 1.5 minutes. Maybe 2 minutes at a push, but everybody knows the opening on this map, unless you want to do something kind of off the wall. But no, like, there comes at points in the decision making tree about this point in time when you really start to like actually see people making more decisions about what they want to do, like where you send this sword, for example. Some people don't send it to the corner, some people send it to the middle, but no, we're not going to see that. And what we are going to see is the swords harassing this village. Makes a lot of sense. And the big decision right now is, what do you do with your commander? Do you hit the lumber mill? Do you hit the sword? Do you go for the recapture? Zested goes for the recapture. What is Spacefront going to do? They're going to go for 1 right there. Okay, they get the sword crit, and then they're going to knock down this lumber mill. Sorry. Another option you can do is exclusive to Ryota is you can just cut the sword. That is like a potential possibility, but I think it's actually maybe this sword you want to go for. But there are a bunch of options you can go for as Ryota, where like you start doing a bunch of damage where there wouldn't normally be. Okay, and we're gonna see this sword take a whole bunch of damage. And Spacefront keeping it pretty even so far. Both players with their opponent's lumber mill right now. Okay. Yeah, sword's gonna come and finish it off. This little low health sword is gonna be very annoying. But that's just gonna be a temporary thing. And actually, we're gonna see tier 2 come out of Ryota, so Spacefront doesn't go for any kind of shenanigans with the tier 1, which would make sense because you can do a lot with that tier 1 to kind of mess with your opponent's flow in the early game, but we're not going to see that. And I guess Mercia is the other commander that has that kind of potential where tier 1 Mercia groove can do a lot. And yeah, like we're seeing an example of that right now. Just Zested being very unafraid to bully with their early units, because they know like, oh, if the dog hits the sword, I don't really care because I can just Mercia heal everything. Oh wow, we're actually seeing the swords just go up against the commander, and yeah, I guess it makes sense if you're going to get a knight follow up. Regular hit, so not going to be the biggest chunk of damage, but it is going to force Ryota to kind of consider where he is at right now. That said, okay, big hit there, big hit there. Are we going to see 195, 200? Yep. Big tier 2 groove coming out, 1, 2, 3. Kills 2 units and the lumber mill and injures the knight and slows the knight down. I actually don't think the knight can reach Ryota anymore. I think these chopped forests are just in the way. A really nice tier 2 groove coming out there from Ryota in the beginning of the game. I actually really like Ryota in Wargroove 2. I think he's like such a cool commander now. He was like just way too strong in Wargroove 1. But Wargroove 2, I actually think they've made him like very interesting to use and very balanced. The only exceptions to that is Ryota versus Ryota matchups. I think they are incredibly boring to play anyway, because his own groove counters himself, so both players kind of just have to play really defensive. Anyway, we're not seeing a Ryota versus Ryota, we're seeing Ryota versus Mercia, and Spacefront is not really in the lead, maybe like a little bit. They have a dragon out in front, which is like really big, but As far as economy goes, they're only up one, well, I say one village right now, not anymore. Ooh, Mercia is going to be really brave here. Walks forward, takes out a sword. And I guess you kind of have to be, like, very brave at this point in time. That sword actually can't really be hit by this dragon, especially with the witch right there, so. And the mage, actually, so. The dragon can't do much. Probably going to see it. Oh no, I can't even go harass this village over here because the witch will just chase it down. Yeah, dragon has to go to the other side of the map. Spacefront loves dragons in general. I think if there's like three things I know about Spacefront, they're relatively slow on timer. They love dragons and they love Koji. Definitely like the strongest Koji player in the community right now. Oh, nice dog crit there. But Zested, yeah, they're keeping up. I mean, Ryota got a really nice tier 2, but that's kind of it so far. Like, Zested playing this kind of mid-game fairly well. Keeping their lumber mill secure. And that's a really important thing to note. Like, if you lose your lumber mill on this map, like, a lot of money your opponent starts ramping up. And you can get really big buys every turn with lumber mills, so... Or you save for like one massive buy. But yeah, both options are very strong. Okay, what are we gonna see? Spears coming to the front. Yeah, spear balloon, the classic. Double balloon as well, actually. And witch, so lots of air to wall other air. Just really want this dragon to be as safe as possible. Really want to get kind of slower units to the front. Really want to use these blockers very effectively. And now we see the struggle of Mercia, where you have your tier 2 groove and you have nothing to use it on. Because you can't do things anymore. Like, you can't have a dragon just tank a hit from a witch anymore. Like, because you just can't Mercia heal after that. The witch will just kill it. And now we see Spacefront. Okay, they're going to go for a push. We're going to see a lot of army do some front switching here. And this is the other strength of balloons. You can just front switch your army if you want. And very little defending the stronghold right now. But there's a lot of pressure on Zested's stronghold. And oh wow. Dragon's just straight up tanking a hit right there. That, I don't know if that was a mistake. I don't know, maybe this is like a purposeful play that they're going for. Oh, that's Mercia standing on the roads and gonna take a bit of counterattack damage. Counterattack crit damage too, actually. So, I don't know about that, but I guess there's a lot to defend and Mercia can only really be hit on one side right now, so. Seem to be pretty happy about that. Right, nice dog crit there. Get another dog crit follow up, and oh, I think Spacefront's just like, whoops! Didn't mean to take that hit. Okay, Ryota's just gonna walk up, hit this wagon. I don't know how safe that is. You have an opponent's witch nearby. Couple weak dogs here. Like, I think one of these dogs, yeah, this 90% health dog, I think can suicide. Is Ryota safe? That is the question. We're gonna find out. Oh, well, we're not seeing anything so far. Okay. Yeah, I don't think Zested is gonna try going for any kind of lethal. They're just gonna go fight this out. Nice dog crit. There are lots of really good use of dog crits here. Both players electing to go for them. Alright, we're gonna see Mercia just being like, yep, I'm just gonna munch lots of units. He's getting a ton of kills on these roads actually, which is really funny because you would think the roads would be really not safe at all. And really nice use of this witch here to wall. Okay, Blade Dash is going to come in. Tier 2. Oh, wow. That is a very aggressive position to put Ryota on. But I guess Spacefront feels confident. And, I mean, they're going to get a lot of kills. Yep, we're going to chain the dog crits. And we're seeing a lot of damage coming in. Oh, but is that enough? He's actually going to have a tier 1 next turn. So much Ryota Groove. And yeah, Mercia just hasn't had a chance to use Groove yet. Oh, Ryota's so open to just getting mauled by crits. I think there's a lot of dog kill opportunity here. Oh, I think there isn't a night crit, but there is something that can hit from above, I believe. Okay, opening a lot of sides, seeing a lot of other stuff get killed. Okay, Zested's not going to try and go for any lethal, just going to do a lot of damage to the army. Ooh, that's a big amount of damage. Ooh, that's a big archer hit. And finally we're seeing an archer come out. Like, I think there are really good units on this map. And oh, now we're going to see the Mercia heal and everything's going to get healed. There was a lot of injured stuff, and this is the one time you really get to see Mercia use this tier 2, is when you go in for a big fight, your army takes damage, and then you heal it afterwards. It's like really the only time you get to see Mercia use her groove. Oh, but there's so much counterattack potential here, but oh, I don't know, there's just like been so much damage taken by Spacefront that I don't know if there's like enough here to really follow this up. I mean, he's going to try and fight it out. He's out of the tournament if he loses this match, so... Are we going to see Zested take the game? And I think there's a very good chance we will. Okay. Grabs the lumber mill. This entire right hand side of the map is just empty, by the way. Everybody wants to fight on this side. Archer coming in. Gonna be used for a wall break once again. There's a lot of clumped up army fighting on this map. Archers are brilliant in this situation. And I really, really like the use of an archer here from Zested. Okay. Just gonna leave this sword open for now? Alright, hexes. Makes sense. Harpy gets killed. Gonna see... Oh, just regular dog hits? Okay. This wants to soften the spears up, I guess. And Mercia is in a pretty defendable position, so we're not going to see anything too significant coming out there. Okay, and yeah, like, all Spacefront could do is juke this out. And the spears have to run away, because they just get overwhelmed by dogs if they stay. And actually, they might even just get cut down on the retreat. Mercia can heal up this army before they go in. There are like two, I guess you could heal like the mage and the dog? Oh no, the dog's just gonna go for the super weak spear. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Just more and more stuff getting caught on the retreat. Archer comes in for the capture. Yeah, you always kind of forget that archers are like infantry as well, so they can do things like go for captures and buildings. Lots of useful utility stuff like that. And you know, he elects to heal the air trooper. Fair enough. And yeah, just throws the balloon in front. Because that is something a mage or a witch has to waste a turn on killing. And Spacefront just doesn't really have enough. Is very much on the retreat. Running low on time. 9 minutes left on the clock. And just giving up a lot of the map. And what's Zested on? 13 and a half? Oh yeah, just over 13 minutes, so... All Zested needs to do is just kind of keep moving forwards, keep going for damage. Dog crit on a road will kill a dog. And yeah, Zested just has more economy. Can just kind of slowly burn down the map. Just like capture all of these corner villages. Like you might as well. And then just spam dragons if you want. Because unless you make a mistake and Ryota gets a huge tier 2, like you're just not gonna die. And I think Spacefront's doing the smart thing here. Builds a bunch of really heavy hitting units. Okay, dragons don't hit commanders as hard anymore, but they do kill units in front of commanders. And yeah, we're just gonna see Zested kind of slow crawl forwards, do like big cuts with the lumber mill, build more dragons. More units that can get to the front quickly, just like lots of dogs really. I would have liked to have seen the knight kind of just slowly chip away at all these villages. But elects not to go for that. In Spacefront, yeah, they're going to play that really quick. And okay, this is when you're just like, I'm gonna pull the trigger. Ooh. Dog suicide, second dog suicides. Second witch comes in. Dragon comes in. Yeah, I don't want to deal with that golem anymore, so I'm not going to. And just more and more units coming in. Spear goes down as well. Mercia is available to heal if the need arises. And I think we're going to see a Mercia tier 2 before this game is over. And yeah, this is just healing off of villages. Sending these dogs to reinforce. Probably going to see a couple. Ooh, actually just doesn't buy units. And that's entirely fair. It's going to save all their money for like probably just 8 million mage heals, honestly. And yeah, that makes sense. Pick off a witch with a mage if you can. Ooh, gets a dragon kill. And yeah, gonna find any kill on like these units that can guarantee lethals, guarantee wall breaks. However, there is an archer behind all of this, so wall breaks will happen. There is not much that Spacefront can do about that. But oh, that witch is actually in a very safe position. And yeah, we're just gonna see Zested just kind of keep piling the road, so to speak. And yeah, they're just gonna keep murdering everything in front of them. Archer comes in, does some damage, spear comes in, doesn't kill. Ooh, I think that could have been done slightly different. I think you could actually wall break there, but decides not to go for it. Is Mercia gonna heal this turn? Oh, very close to having a tier 2. Just gonna hit with that. Okay, makes sense. I was wondering a bit about this mage hitting the village, but yeah, they just want to build a bit of groove, and that's the army. Very much healthy. Ooh, big heal on the knight as well. That's going to be able to push forwards. And now, yeah, Mercy is in a very safe position. The witches could kill the dragons. This could actually get slowed down significantly. Zested might have overextended here slightly. But then there comes the question is like, how does Spacefront win from there? Yeah, this army took a lot of damage from Ryota this turn. There isn't really a counterattack potential on Ryota. Oh, so many dragons went down. And Zested hasn't been keeping buying more units. So there's just like nothing to... Like, this is the army. And like, Zested, I think, recognizes, wait a minute, I don't have any stuff left. They just forgot to keep building... Oh, they didn't forget to keep building units. They just didn't build more units. And now these incredibly fragile dragons have been hard countered by these witches. And all of a sudden, Spacefront's up on time, up on army. They need to win. They're gonna knock down this village. And just says, okay, I have more time than my opponent. I don't have to do anything extravagant here. Zested, actually, all Zested really needed was like a witch, honestly. To just like kind of fly over and back up their army, but keep the dragons from getting one shot. But no, like Spacefront I think recognizes I'm in the lead, I have more time, I have better position, I have better army. And okay, Zested just kind of has to go for a big YOLO play, try and get the stronghold. They're playing so fast right now, and I know Spacefront plays on Switch as well, so this is going to be really taxing. You can just, you can almost picture like the kind of sweat on the palms of their hands as they're trying to do all these turns really quick. And yeah, Zested, I mean, it could just come down to like a straight up timer loss. The map is basically dead even. Like the only difference is this lumber mill, and yeah, just like one move per turn. Are we gonna see like them basically try and play it out just for time? If that's the case, Spacefront will win. They have an extra minute on the clock over their opponent. And it will just come down to time, I think. And yeah, they're just going to try and do the smallest moves they can. Builds a dragon. Why not? And once your opponent gets down to like 10 seconds left on the clock and you have like a good minute, you can just kind of do whatever you want on your turn, your opponent won't have time to counter it. And oh, Zested's taking like a good like 6 seconds per turn. And yeah, I think Spacefront's just gonna win. There is no sudden death rule. And yeah, Spacefront is gonna win on time, which is not a sentence I thought I would ever say, but they do take it. And in a very kind of anticlimactic ending to the game, Spacefront will win. So GG's, Spacefront's going to take game 2. We're going to go into a game 3. We're going to see how the set finishes out. And yeah, we get to see, yeah, just like a timeout from Spacefront winning because of the timeout. Didn't think I would see it, but there we go. And I think they have played the 3rd game already, so we get to see that. And that will be coming up next.